Gary Kirsten, mentor of one of the new entrants in the IPL, the Gujarat Titans, is joining us. Gary, welcome back to the IPL First Up. How excited are you with what Gujarat managed to get on day one? Lockie Ferguson, 10 crores, Shami, 6.25, Jason Roy for just about two, but of course, other players as well. So, how happy are you?
Yeah, thank you for having me, and it's great to be back in IPL. I must say it's a wonderful experience always. The IPL. It's lovely to be back in India after 2 years. It has been like a second home to me, this place. So it's great to be back. Yeah, and with a new franchise, the Gujarat Titans. It's a real privilege to be offered an opportunity to work in that space. I love coaching and working in the melting pot of IPL. So I'm excited about our team and obviously what we are trying to create with the team. It's new beginnings, and always when you work with a new franchise, it's building your team out without any context, I suppose, in many ways, because you don't have a history. I guess that's where the fun is, I suppose.
So happy overall. It seems like the Gujarat team was not really going all out. You seemed very controlled. You didn't really initially break the bank for many players. Could you share your strategy going in, and how happy are you at the end of day one?
Yeah, I think we are happy. There were some important recruitments for us, and we got them. Obviously getting Shami and Lockie Ferguson were important recruitments. We also were able to get Sai Kishore right at the end there, which was something that we were quite keen on. We were very happy to get Noor Ahmed, who's a youngster from Afghanistan as well, who will bowl alongside Rashid, and then Jason Roy too. Which didn't cost us a huge amount of money, and he's a world-class player. So, for us, I think going into tomorrow, we're probably going to look a little bit at the top order. There's lots of fantastic international players available. So, that will probably be our focus of attention.
There was a bit of an intense bidding war for Tewatia. Could you share why the Titans were so keen to get him?
Well, it was just at that stage in the auction. We had gone through a number of quality Indian batsmen, and between CSK and ourselves, we both wanted Tewatia, so we had a kind of a number that we wanted to go to, and so did CSK. But at that point, we'd had a couple of good bids that we were comfortable with, so we felt we were ahead of the game. So we were prepared to go a little bit longer on Tewatia, and it ended up being a bidding war between us and CSK. But in the end, we managed to pull through, and I think it's an important recruitment for us because at that point, we've only got right-handed batsmen, so having a left-hander was going to be important. And he's an experienced IPL player as well, so he knows his way around the pressurized environments of IPL. So yeah, so we were happy to get him.
I do have to ask you, as a new team starting afresh in a competition which is so competitive like the IPL, your task as a mentor, the task for the entire support staff, the task for the team is going to be quite cut out.
Yes, it is, but the coaching staff that's been put together, we all know each other pretty well. We worked previously at RCB, so that helps a lot. But it's new beginnings, and you want to try and build a way of doing things in the Gujarat Titans that becomes unique to Gujarat, and we need to obviously engage our fans and in our area and win them over by the way we play cricket. Like any team, you want to just build your identity as a group of people. So that's going to be our biggest challenge. We're brand new, we've got no reference points, and hopefully we can have a decent start to this team and build some continuity through the years.
Not being able to play home and away just yet, as far as this season is concerned, do you think that was a big factor as far as selecting your team is concerned?
It's a difficult one, I think what you're trying to do is build a team for all occasions, and for all situations. And I think most of the teams will try to do that. Yes, if you've got an advantage of certain conditions as a home advantage, it does play a role. You definitely see teams have recruited players according to that. But I think it's difficult. I think what you try and do is have as good a balance as you can in the team, and you would have probably seen that in the recruitment across all the franchises.
I do want to ask you that since this is a mega auction and yours is a new team, but for everyone else also, it's almost a fresh start. Uh, was this season primary when you were looking at players, or was it indeed a big picture for the next 3 years?
A bit of both, to be honest with you. I do think it's important to try and understand, what your continuity is going to be like. So maybe there would be a 50-50 call on a player who's at the end of his career and as opposed to a young player who's showing real promise. And I think there you would want to go for the younger player just to build some continuity. But you also, you can also do that in the small auctions. You can pull players out after 1 year. But I think it was a little bit of a mixture. Ultimately the most successful teams in the IPL have been able to create that continuity. And I think, one of the challenges for them is that they want to be loyal to their players, so you could see there was a real push for some of the franchises to get their old players back, to try and hold on to them, and because they understand the environment that they're working in. So I guess it works both ways.
And finally, Gary, you're of course, you mentioned how India is a second home to you, but we also look at you as Guru Gary because of the exploits in 2011 World Cup, and who can forget that moment and what that team was able to achieve. I want to ask you, as a coach, what excites you about the IPL that you keep coming back over and over again? And what is it that is Guru Gary's mantra that you would like to bring to Gujarat Titans?
To be honest with you, I just want to add value. I just see coaching as a real privilege, and I think all of us as coaches, we know what a privilege it is to work in the IPL, to work with some of the best cricketers in the world. And so for me, it's to add value, and it's to try and create an environment where players can thrive and be the best versions of themselves. That's my role. It's not about me presenting a way to the team. There's a lot of moving parts in every team. So if I can add some value to the players that I'm working with, I'll be as happy as anything.
All right. So Gary, all the best. There is still some more auction to go. So we'll have to wait and see how all the teams are looking and how this competition is stacking up. But we wish you, your team, Gujarat Titans, all the very best start in the IPL.
Thank you very much. And thanks for having me.